Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the 25 makeup products I plan to pan in 2025. This is not a project within itself, but these are kind of my focuses going into the new year. Makeup products I want to use up in the next year or just get a lot of good usage on. So if you're excited to see what products are going to be in my upcoming project pans, then just keep on watching. Okay, I put way too much thought into these products. I feel like I have a mixture of goals, but most of these items I want to use up completely and have as a makeup empty by the end of the year. There are just a few exceptions and we will go through that. I have 25 makeup products here. I have a wide variety of categories and I'm excited to share them all with you. We're going to start off with my base products, so let's chat about primers first. The first primer I want to use up is my Rodial Soft Focus Glow Drops. These are the Illuminating Ultimate Glow Primer. I have approximately half of this left. We're settled right about here, and I realized that I used the first half of this product quite easily. So this is going to be my focus coming into the new year. It's very hydrating, it's very glowy. I like it on my dry winter skin. And the second one is my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is getting quite old in my collection and I feel like it hasn't gotten a lot of use. There is certainly a sizable dip in this product. My initial goal is going to be to hit pan on this. I don't know if I can finish this entire container next year, but we're going to aim for pan to start. Depending on how long that takes, we might keep going, or I might switch my focus to another primer that can be an empty, but to start, we're going to hit pan on this guy. For foundations, the oldest foundation in my current makeup collection is this Rimmel Stay Matte in the shade 103 True Ivory Lightweight Shine Control. I can tell you I haven't reached for this in probably 2 years. I don't even know if it's still good. I don't know if I still like it, but for some reason I don't want to just throw it in the trash. So this is going to be more of a spring summer type of foundation for me. It will be a little bit too deep for me in the winter unless I self-tan, and also it being a Stay Matte formulation. I have more combination oily skin in the summertime. I'm probably going to test this out a little bit before we get there. And if I do choose to declutter this pretty early on, I will replace it in my list of 25 items, but I didn't have an opportunity to do that before filming this video. And then something I've been neglecting the last few years in terms of panning, but I certainly reach for them more organically, are skin tints, tinted moisturizers, those types of things. And it's because they aren't as old in my collection as some of these more mattifying full coverage foundations, because that was my preference back then, and now I like a more lightweight base. So the oldest of that category is my ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. I do love this product. I have quite a bit of wear. It has been laying down. I set it up while preparing for this video, so it's only settled down to here, but it will settle down lower. This is the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer with Hyaluronic Acid. I have mine in the shade Fair 3W, which is a great shade for me. This is more of a great everyday product, whereas this one is going to be more full coverage, more for those warmer months. So hopefully throughout the year I will be able to finish off both of these. The oldest concealer in my collection is my Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, creaseless, soft matte, and with hyaluronic acid. This is not my favorite. You need such a small amount to have what you need, but there are 4.14 milliliters, not millimeters, of product in here, which is quite a bit. I have used this a lot over the years, but this was kind of a pricey product for me when I purchased this, and I want to get my use out of it. I do have the shade Lace, which is quite light, so I want to get a good amount of usage on this winter. I will use this for spot concealing as well as very lightly under my eyes. I might even try mixing this with the skin tint to bump up the coverage, and if I'm using it all over my face, hopefully I'll be able to get through it a bit faster. My oldest setting spray now is my Smashbox Photo Finish setting spray, the weightless version. I'm not sure where I am in the bottle. I would say I have about 2/3 left, but as you'll notice with many of these products, they're like the oldest in the category because I don't want to just ignore them. I really like this. It has a very fine mist. The formulation is great, so I want to focus on this one for this year and finish it off. You will see a couple of rollovers from my 24 and 2024, but I try not to be too repetitive. Let me know if you want a full recap on how I did on my 24 to pan and 2024 list, because I haven't filmed that yet. But here is a repeat. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. It goes with that foundation. I thought I would be able to finish this in 2024, but I was very wrong. I still have a ton of powder in here. I use it every time I do my makeup, and it is still lingering in my collection. And this is my oldest face powder, so I want to use it up in 2025. And I feel like that's doable since I've used it over 200 times so far. And the second powder, in my 24 to pan in 2024, I wanted to hit pan in it. I did successfully do that. Now this year I want to circle back again and finish it off. It comes from my Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and it is the shade Light Cocoa. I used this so much this year. I stopped focusing heavily on it once I hit pan, but I hope you can see I continued to use it from time to time. This pan has been expanding, and this year I want to finish off this shade. I really like this shade. I feel indifferent about the two, like the contour and the bronzer. I like them fine enough to reach for them here and there, and I hate the highlighter. So once I finish this product, I will be comfortable decluttering this whole like clunky packaging. It's very old and it takes up a lot of space. I have 5 cheek products I want to share with you. 3 of these already have pan, so I'm going to say that my goal is to finish them, even though I don't believe that I'm going to be successful in that. So I guess my true goal is I want a good juicy pan showing on all 3 of these. All of them have like a tiny pan. Like I hit pan and then I moved on, and so now I want to return back to them, focus on them, and really see a big juicy pan by the end of the year. Firstly, of course, I have to include my oldest blush in my entire collection, the Model Co. Peach Bellini blush. This is the star of the emilynmax YouTube channel. It appears all the time. It does have a pan over here on the side, but it's not very big. It has expanded this year, but not as much as I was hoping. By the end of 2025, I want a big, juicy pan. I want an impressive blush pan. I have 2 highlighters that have pan that are amongst the oldest products in my entire collection. So again, circling back over the last couple of years, I focused on them to hit pan on. The first is my ColourPop Super Shock highlight in the shade Smokin' Whistles. One of my very favorite fair skin, like wintry highlighters. I have a huge dip in here. I am not so delusional to think that I could finish a ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in a year. It took me almost 100 uses to hit pan in this, and it's just a very tiny pan. But again, I would love a big juicy pan showing by the end of the year, which honestly will mean I'll be focusing on this probably until April, and then circle back around like October, November, December, and just see what sort of damage I can make. Then maybe my spring summer highlight, I will be focusing on Champagne Pop. Again, this is one of my oldest and most used highlighters in my collection. I have used this well over 100 times, and there is a pan in the center, but it's not big enough, you know? So maybe I'll focus on the lighter highlight for the beginning of the year, then switch over to this, and then back over to the lighter one. I want a big, juicy pan in this highlighter by the end of the year. I don't have a more like tangible goal than that. I don't know if I want to use this like 100 times this year or 50 times. I don't know. I just want visually for the pan to look big. Does that make sense? I feel that I made really great progress on some of the really old and sample size bronzers in my collection in 2024. So I want to pull out, it's repressed into this black compact I got off Amazon, but this was a sample of the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Milk Chocolate Bronzer. That seems like way too many words, but here we are. It was cracking within the packaging. It was like that flimsy plastic, like bendy packaging, and it was cracking all to pieces, so I repressed it in. I bought these just plain black compacts off Amazon. You're supposed to glue in the pan, but I don't do that because it makes it just so easy to keep swapping out products. Once I use this up, I can put something else in, etc. So I'm just careful with it when I open it. But this was a sample size. I will find the original packaging. I'm sure I have it somewhere so I know how many grams of product were in it. This isn't unused, but just as, I don't know, an idea of where I'm starting. But my goal will be to finish this off since it is just a sampler size of a bronzer. And again, it's very old. I would like to have my refillable compact back so I can put other things in it. And lastly, for cheeks, I'm pulling back out Tarte Party. I focused on this in 2023, got really bored of it, mostly because I wasn't seeing any visual progress. I've used this blush over 70 times, I believe, and it still looks the same. You can still see that like Amazonian foresty embossing on here. I guess you can't see the word Tarte anymore, but that's basically it. I've seen so many of my friends hit pan on this blush, go on to finish this blush, and it is so old. It was the Sephora birthday gift many moons ago, and I want this to show love from me too. My goal will be to hit pan on it to start, and then we'll see how motivated I am to keep using it. It's a gorgeous neutrally pink color. I can wear it all year round. It can go with any look. I feel like hitting one blush pan a year is all I'm capable of, so I'm going back to focusing on this guy. I have just a handful of eye products to go over, and then we will finish off with my lip product category. My hair is driving me nuts. So kind of boring, but I feel like is necessary. I have my Alter Ego eye base. This was sent to me in PR. I do have a code with Alter Ego. However, I have been using this eye base, which has become one of my very favorites. If you like the Urban Decay Primer Potion, if you like the Milani eyeshadow primer, I think you would like this. It's very similar. I have used this for a good percentage of 2023, all of 2024, and it's still going. I prime my eyes every time I do my makeup. I have already taken the stopper out of this, gave this product a really good stir, and then put the stopper back in, but like I'm still getting the perfect amount of product on the wand now that I've done that. So I really want to finish this off. Also, from my These Products Will Self-Destruct, which I think you'll be seeing the updated version soon. I don't know, I haven't even filmed in weeks when I'm filming this. But this is my Smashbox Always Sharp Waterproof Kohl Liner in the shade Penny Lane. One of the very oldest products in my makeup collection. I don't have any reaction to this. I have used this quite a bit in 2024 as well, but the thing with this one is there's no way to track my progress. I've used this a ton in its lifetime with me. I've owned it for I think 7 years. It's not expired. It still lasts in the waterline with no irritation, but I can't, it's one of those where you just click it up a little bit to use. It won't go back down. So it will be a surprise to us all when I finally finish this, but I really do want this to be a proper makeup empty. And then I went back and forth on whether I wanted to include any eyeshadows in my list, and somehow I have settled on adding 12, but it's counting as 2 products. Let me explain. Firstly, my oldest palette in my entire collection is this Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells Trio. It's very tiny. I am close to hitting pan on the second shade. It's currently going in my Pan Those eyeshadows. So by the end of the year of 2024, I will have pan in all three of these shades, and they're very quick moving. They're very easy everyday shades now that I'm working outside of the home. I don't know if I can finish this whole trio. I don't think Pan That palette is necessarily for me, but I do kind of want this kept in my everyday makeup drawer. The brow bone shade is just great. I could reach for almost every day as a brow bone shade. I really like the eyelid shade as an inner corner highlight, etc. So just kind of keeping this front of mind, I would be extremely impressed if I could like have pan like in the center of all of them, and maybe work to one side or the other and have half of the shade gone by the end of the year. That would be amazing, but I just want to keep focusing on this. And lastly, for eye products, the oldest eyeshadows in my entire collection, that's the oldest palette, but now we're talking about just general eyeshadows, are actually these 9 Makeup Geek shadows. They came in a bundle. It was like the everyday singles bundle or something like that. You know, we have like Creme Brulee and Cocoa Bear, those types of shades. So these 9 are the oldest eyeshadows left in my collection. I only have one pan in the shade Glamorous. These are all my Makeup Geek shades, including my Makeup Geek blush. I'm just going to keep them all together in the C palette. And again, similar to the trio, I want these front of mind. I want to be pulling them in to pan those eyeshadows. I would love, theoretically, to have pan in all 9 of these by the end of the year. Even this one, the pan is kind of dug down in there a little bit. I would like to clean that up, get some use on all of these, and discover if some of these shades have expired. Maybe they have. Maybe they lost some pigment, they dust away to nothing, and then I can be comfortable decluttering some of them, but I would just like some more pans showing in the C palette. And I'm really hoping I don't get burnt out on these shades, because I do have a mix of warm and cool tones, mattes and shimmers. I think that this selection of shades will be good for me. Let's finish it off with a fistful of lip products. I have moved through quite a lot of lip glosses this year, so I'm hoping to keep that momentum going, and then I've put some more challenging items in here as well, including this ColourPop Lippy pencil in the shade Aquarius. This used to be my most perfect nude. Maybe it still is. I guess I haven't thought too much about it. But I would like to try and finish off this ColourPop Lippy pencil. It's not as long as it was when I bought it, but there's still plenty of color in here. A repeat from last year, and one that's currently going in my Rolling Project 10 pan. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Mini Lipstick. I have been trucking away on this. It's been taking me a long time, but I do want to finish it in 2025. And one of the oldest lip products in my collection is a ColourPop, I think this is an ultra matte. Yeah, ultra matte lip. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but I do know it's not expired, and it's in the shade Times Square. This was rolled into the whole collection project pan a couple of years ago, and I have used half of this. When it is settled, it does settle about halfway through the bottle, and I know that this component from ColourPop doesn't actually hold that much product. So I'm hoping that maybe I could finish off a liquid lipstick. And to finish things off, I have 4 glosses. The first is a repeat. This is the Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie Gloss. This is so stinking slow moving. I focused on this for 6 months in the Graveyard Project pan and only made this much progress on it, but this is getting very, very old and I want to use it up. I also have another ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip. I finished one up this year without too much trouble. So this one is in the shade Flying Horses. And then I have 2 smaller ones, 2 minis. I have a mini Fenty. This is the original Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. Really like this formula and want to use this up before it goes bad. And then a surprising favorite is this Pat McGrath. I love this gloss formula, the Lust Gloss, and this is another mini and it's in the shade Flesh 6. This has more of like a gel-like consistency. It's really nice, and I don't think I will have too much trouble finishing off 2 full size and 2 mini glosses this year. So that is everything. Those are the 25 makeup products I have decided I want to focus on in 2025. Do you think I picked some good items? Will I be successful? I really hope so. Not me realizing that I actually had 5 glosses and I forgot one. This is the Alamar Cosmetics Mother of Pearl Gloss in Sirenita. This has kind of an obnoxious tropical-y smell. But this is also one of my older lip glosses. I was going through all my oldest lip glosses and actually discovered some that had expired. So this one is up for using up. And it is a very sparkly pink. I'm hoping that I can get through this without too much trouble as well. It doesn't say how much is in here. Oh yes, it does. 2.2 mils. That's like nothing. I'll be able to fly through this pretty quickly before it expires, I hope. Those are the 25 makeup products I hope to finish up in 2025. I think that I chose some pretty good products, lots of minis in here, and some realistic goals. I'm most concerned with the Rimmel Stay Matte foundation. If I hate it, I'll swap it out. And the Makeup Geek eyeshadows, they're very old. I want to get some good use on them. I want some more pans showing in them, or just decide which ones have expired to declutter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!